data structure in Python. So in this video we are going to discuss what is data structure, types of data structures, what is stack and queue. The important one is that we are going to discuss in this video is stack. So first, what is data structure? If we go through the definition of a data structure, is a specialized format of organizing, processing and retrieving and storing data. Types of data structures. It has been divided into two parts: primitive data structure and non-primitive data structures. What is primitive? These are the most basic data structures. They are built block for data manipulation and contain pure simple values of data. Number is going to store number, characters are going to store character, floating values are going to store floating values. Non-primitive types of data structures, they are list, tuple. These are non-primitive. Data structure is a primitive divided into number, float, boolean and string. Non-primitive, array, list, tuple, dictionary and set. And again the list is divided into linear and non-linear. We are going to discuss about stack and queue of linear part. This is non-linear graphs and trees. So in this video we are going to discuss about stack using list. Why we are using the list only? Because in a Python, a list are dynamic in nature. They can grow, they can shrink, means they can increase, they can decrease in size or number of items as and when required. That is the main purpose of using the list. We move to the next part. Now what is stack is? It is a concept of LIFO. What is the meaning of LIFO? Last in, first out. LIFO means the data which is entered at last will be the first to get access, or deleted first or removed first. It means all the data values are done at one and only. There are two operations in stack. What are those two operations? Push and pop. What is push and what is pop? When we add or insert the element to a stack, it is known as push in a stack. When we want to delete or remove the elements from the stack, that list we are using, so that is called pop. In a stack, insertion push or deletion pop done at the same end, and both the process one variable is used, that is called top. Top is the variable that is used for push and pop. Some basic features of stack. Stack is a LIFO, last in first out structure, or we can say FILO, first in last out. FILO means whatever comes first goes at last, and whatever comes at last go at first. This is a concept, LIFO and FILO. Here it is. This means that the element which was added last to the stack will be the first element to be removed from the stack. This is the meaning of LIFO. Push function is used to insert new element into a stack. Pop function is used to remove an element from the stack. Both insertion and deletion are allowed at only one end of the stack, that is called top. Both the process are done from the top. Stack is said to be overflow or stack is full. When there is no space in a stack, it is full, this message is going to be highlighted, overflow or stack is full. When all the elements have been deleted from the stack using pop, and after that if we are still using that pop, it will show the message that is stack is empty. Now the pop is not going to work because your stack is already empty now. Now we move to one example, how the push works in a stack. Let us take an example of a books. What I have done, one stool is there and there are so many books are there. So we work on a process of a push. So first we push the maths book. Here is a maths book. So when we call the push, this book is going to be now being placed here. Now top is at maths book. Now go to the next one. Which book? That is a novel. This book. When we push, it comes the top of maths book. Now top is here. It means now maths is going to be the first and novel is going to be the second, and second book is at the top. Now we move again, we push, drama is being moved here and placed. Now top is at drama. Next again we call the push. Now history book is being called. Now history book is being placed. Now next is poem. We push poems and this book is being placed. This is the concept of push. It means the top is at poem. So what is that top is now? This is called LIFO and this is called philo. Means last in first out. This is the last book and this is the first book. The concept of philo apply on maths book and concept of LIFO apply on the poem. And when there is no spaces left at the top, what is the message is going to be displayed? Stack is overflow or stack is full. Means the limit is over now. You are not supposed to book any other book at the top. Now we move to the next one, that is called pop. How the pop is going to work. Now what is that? Again the concept is LIFO, last in first out. So first we place using push all the books. So you know that this is a LIFO and this is a philo. Now you know when the pop is going to start, from where the top is going to be sitting. Top is at the poems. So when we call the pop, the poem is going to be removed. Now top is where? It has been sitting at history. This is now the LIFO, last in first out. Which one is the last one? History book. Now pop is going to be called and it is being removed. Next LIFO is at drama. Now top is sitting as drama. Now pop is being called and drama is being removed. Now the concept of LIFO apply on novel. So the top is at novel. The novel is going to be removed. Now which one is the last? That is a maths book. And maths book is going to now the concept is of philo has been applied on the maths, that is maths book, that is first in last out. The first book goes at last. That means when we use the pop again, this book has been removed. Now again if we call the pop, now the stack has been empty. So this message is going to be display that your stack is now empty or stack is under flow. Now we understand the concept of push and pop in a list. So first we understand how the push is going to work in a list. You know that the concept is LIFO. The first thing, this is our stack. I'm going to show you horizontally also and vertically also, because stack is going to be in a horizontal way. So I'm going to show you in the both the way. First thing, at the starting, the stack is empty. Now we call the push and accept the value that is 10 and push to the stack. 10 is going to be inserted. Now top is been targeting to the 10. The concept is being started. 30. This is being pushed. 30 is being placed at the top. Means to the right side. I turn that vertically so it look like this. Now top is at 30. Now it moves to the next one. Push 50. Inserted. Top move to 50. I push 70. It is inserted now. The top is at 70. Now next 80. Push that. 80 is now been there and top is at. So this is the concept of push. We inserted. Now this is LIFO, last in first out, means this is horizontally and this is vertically. So this is our LIFO. That means in the case of pop, the numbers are going to be start deleting from the top or from the right side. And this is our philo, that is first in last. So that means this 10 is going to be removed at last. It is a first value but it goes at last with the concept of stack. Now we move to the pop. The same list I am using. Now the concept is going to start where the top is be sitting. It is at the 80. Now pop 80. We are not supposed to write down the 80. Only pop we are going to write down and it automatically start erasing the numbers. I've just put that 80 here. These are the numbers that are going to be pop. So pop 80. This number is being removed. Now where is the top is been sitting now? At 70. Pop 70. This number is going to be removed. Pop 50. This number is going to be removed. Pop again being called. 30 is being removed. And this is the concept of philo. That means this is the first value that is being removed at last. When pop is being called, it is being erased. So here is the concept of pop that has been used, and then now the stack again becomes empty, that we have used the pop and all the elements have been deleted. This is the concept of pop that we are using. Now we move to the push coding for a list in Python. How you going to write down the coding of push? Push means insert the element in a stack. So step 1, you need to declare a list name stack, and it should be empty list. So line of empty list is stack equals to 2 bracket sign. This is our empty list. There is nothing inside that stack. Second line, you need to accept the value to insert inside the stack. You ask for the value from the user and you need to store and insert it inside the stack. So line of accepting is value equals to int input, enter the value. This input is going to accept the value and this int is going to convert that to an integer, and that is going to be stored inside the value. Now what is the next step? You need to pass that value inside that stack. So stack dot append bracket value, this value comes from here, is going to be transferred inside the stack. These are the 1, 2, 3 lines for the push concept. Push coding for list in Python. Now how the coding is going to work, that I am going to show you. Now first line is stack bracket. Now if I am going to write down stack append 20, here it is. First value is going to be inserted. Now if I am going to write down in a Python IDE, second line is stack dot append 30. It is going to be here. The top is, where is top is now 1. These are the index values. This is 0, this is 1. Inside the list, this is 0 means 20 is going to be there, and a 1, 30 is being placed. Same 0 and 1. When I use stack dot append 40, it has been placed. Now where is top is at? It is going to be at 40, that is 2. Here it is also being shown the same way. 50, top is sitting at 50. Here it is. And when I print the stack, it shows the number like this: 20, 30, 40, 50. Means first number at 0, second number at 1, third number at 2, and 50 at 3. These are the index numbers of list. Push coding for list in Python. Here it is, a full coding. And when we execute this line, it will generate the output like this. I'm going to show you that practically also, the how it is going to work, these lines, and this is the output that is going to be shown on the screen. And when we move for a coding for in a board, we are going to write it down. If the question is write push code for the list package, package is the name of the list, to add a new package considering as act as a push operation of stack data structure. You have to use the concept of push operation of stack, and you have to insert the numbers inside the list name, that is package. That means this side is the left, I am using stack. Now this stack is going to be erased by the package. Package equals to bracket, that means it's an empty list. Val equals to int input, enter the number, is going to accept the number, and package dot append val is going to insert the number inside that package list. And that is the concept of that we using is of a push. Pop coding for list in Python. Pop means delete the elements. First step, check that the stack is empty or not. If yes, then if a stack is empty, print the message that is stack is empty or stack underflow, means if each and every value from the stack is been removed and we are going to use again, that pop is going to be used, this message is need to be displayed. That message is underflow or stack is empty. If the condition is false, means still there are some numbers inside the stack. So what we have to, we need to pop the element. And what is the line of the pop is print bracket deleted number double quote close comma stack dot pop 2 brackets. You know that the pop return the value, so we pass that stack dot pop inside the print. So whatever value is being popped, means deleted, is going to be shown on the screen also, that this is the value that has been removed from the stack using the concept of pop. I already put the numbers here. Now call the stack dot pop 2 brackets. Nothing is going to need to be passed. So when I call this line, what happened? Last number has been removed. That 50 is been removed. Now again, if I'm going to call stack.pop, 40 is been erased. When I again call the pop again, 30 is been erased. Again I've called the pop, 20 is going to be erased. Means from the last is started and all the numbers have been erased and the stack becomes empty. If I again going to use that pop, this message is going to be displayed, that is stack is empty. And this is the concept of pop, how the pop is going to work. Here is the coding. Every step I written, every time when the stack.pop is being done, I put the line print stack, print stack, print stack, print stack, so that you should know that when the one number is being deleted, what is the stack, how many numbers are inside the stack. It is going to show us the result in each and every step. So here is the result. First time 20, 30, 40, 60. Because after the pop is been done, 80 is been removed, 20, 30, 40, 60 is been displayed. Then this pop is being called and then we print the stack, 20, 30 and 40 is been displayed, 60 is been erased. Then again when the pop is being called and the stack has been done, what is left, 20 and 30. Then again pop is being called, then we print the stack, 20 is displayed. When again the stack.pop is being called and we put print stack, it shows that now the stack is been empty. This output is going to be displayed. And for the board examination, if you want to write down the coding, same example, I am put the same example package and you have to write down the coding of pop. So here is the line, if package equals to square bracket means empty, then the message is going to be displayed that stack is empty, else print bracket double quotes deleted value double quotes close comma stack dot pop. This is the line that you are going to write it down. Here it is. Now if you want to write a full code to check the concept of stack, push and pop method, this is the first line. You have to declare the stack, then start while true. While true means it will execute the loop until and unless we are not supposed to put the false value or we are not supposed to break it. So this loop moves continuously without any break. Then inside that we put 3 lines. If I press 1 and press enter key, it will ask for push. If I enter 2, press enter key, then it asks for pop. If I enter the value 3, then it will display me the list. What is that list is? This is stack. I ask for the to break the, if you want to break from the, if you want to exit, want to come out from this loop, then you have to press the key number, that is 4. You need to ask the choice from the user. I've written everything in the right side also. What is the working of each line? Now let us understand the concept of push and pop in stack. So we are going to write down the full code for a Python and you are going to understand the concept also and how it is going to work. So what we have to do first, we need to declare a empty stack. So I declare a stack, 2 bracket sign. That means I declare the empty stack. Then you start a loop while true means it is going to work continuously until and unless we are not supposed to break. So inside that loop we put some choice. Here are the 4 choice: 1 for push, 2 for pop, 3 for display and 4 for exit. Means these are the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. From the keyboard you press 1, 2, 3, 4 and when you press the enter key, if you press 1 enter, then it will work as a push, 2 enter is going to be used for pop and 3 is going to display the whatever value inside the stack and 4 is going to bring you out of this loop. And because this was while true, it works continuously without any break until and unless we are not supposed to press a break line. Means we need something that is going to stop this loop. So you ask for a choice from the user and this ch is going to store that choice and that is in an integer. That means 1, 2, 3, 4. Here are the choice I've given already: 1 for this, 2 for this, 3 for this, like this. Any person is going to enter the value that is 1. So we put the line that if ch is this variable is equals to 1, means if the value is 1 that is entered inside that ch, so what is the concept that we have to call? That is push. So what is the line of the push is that we ask for the value from the user and we write down a line that is stack dot append. You have already done that previously. You have seen in the slides that what is the meaning of these two lines. And this is the stack dot append val. Val is this, and this val is going to accept the value from the user, and that is going to be stored inside that stack. If this choice is going to be 2, it means pop. What is the line of pop? If stack is equals to bracket means empty, the line is print stack is empty. Otherwise, else write down that deleted value comma stack dot pop. This line is going to be show you the deleted value and it is going to be displayed on the screen. If the user choice is going to be 3, what is that? Display. And how you're going to display? You know that the index value always start from 0. So I start the loop for x in stack. Whatever numbers are inside the stack are going to pass to the x, and when I write down print x in the same line, all the numbers are going to be displayed. That whatever values are inside the stack using the append or by using this pop, whatever is being left, we can check by using this line that is for x in stack. You know that this is the loop, for loop, that is going to display you all the numbers inside the stack. And if you want to come out of the loop, and what is the line is going to be, you need to write down break. Break is going to stop this loop and you will exit from this loop and come out, and the program is going to be finished. And that is a concept. I'm going to show you practically also that how this thing is going to work. Application of stack. Now we're going to discuss how to solve the expressions with the concept of stack. This is our arithmetic expression. So before we're going to solve it, first we are going to discuss the priorities of operators and logical operators. Both left side is going to be arithmetic operators and right side is going to be logical operators with highest to lowest. The first, in a case of arithmetic, exponent. Second is multiplication and division, and last is going to be the plus and minus. In the case of logical operator, not, then and, then or. These are our operators and their priorities, and move from highest to lowest. You should know that. 3 different ways for writing a expression: infix, prefix, postfix. Infix, the way the expression is written in the infix form is called infix notation. Prefix is known as polish notation. Postfix is known as reverse polish notation. Infix expression is written like this: x plus y. These are 2 operands and this is operator, plus sign. X and y are operand. If we convert an infix into prefix, operator shift to left and operand shift to right. Means x plus y if is converted to prefix, then operator move to the left side like this, plus x y. In a case of postfix, operator shift to right side, means x plus y is converted to postfix, then plus move to right. Answer is xy plus. So this is prefix and this is postfix. We solve some more examples. X plus y minus z. In case of prefix, who is the first priority? In the same line, plus. Prefix also and postfix also. Plus is the highest priority. So in case of prefix, where the plus is going to move? It move to the left, and in the case of postfix, move to the right. So we got plus xy is one value minus z. Here we got the value that is xy plus is a one value minus z. Now what is left? This minus z. Again in a prefix, we solve this. Answer is minus plus. This minus move here. Answer is minus plus xyz. In this case, x plus y plus is one value, so minus move to the right side. The answer is xy plus z minus. So this is prefix, this is postfix. Now again one more example. A plus B multiplied by C minus D divided by E. Who is the first priority to? That is B multiplied by C. So we solve first B multiplied by C. In case of prefix, it becomes multiply BC, and in case of postfix, it becomes BC multiply. Now in the second case, which one? Yes, division. In a prefix, divide DE, and postfix DE divide. So there are values A plus multiply BC minus divide DE. This is one value, this is second value, this is one more value. Means these are three values now left. Here in this case also, A plus BC multiply minus DE divide. 1, 2, 3. Now next is third one, that is plus sign. In the case of prefix, this plus move to the left. So plus A multiply B C is one value minus divide DE is the second value. In case of postfix, plus goes to the right. So the answer is A B C multiply plus minus DE divide. Now what is left last? That is minus sign. Now solve it. This minus goes to the left. So answer is minus plus A multiply B C divide DE, and in this case this minus goes to the right. A B C multiply plus DE divide minus. So this is the answer in case of postfix, and this is the answer in the case of prefix. Now we move to the next. Now here we are going to do the next is postfix notation, means reverse Polish notation, converting expression from infix to postfix notation. Now in this case, steps to be followed. Read all the symbols one by one from left to right. If the reading symbol is operand, then directly print, means all the operands are going to directly printed, means A, B, C, D, these are the operands are going to be printed directly. If the reading symbol is left parenthesis, means this bracket sign, then you have to push, means bracket signs, all the starting bracket, these are going to be pushed inside the stack, and when the closing bracket has been there, you are going to pop, and whatever is inside those bracket are going to be popped out of the brackets, means these two brackets, if there are three signs are there, all the three are going to be popped out. I'm going to show you that how it is going to. If the reading symbol is operator plus, minus, multiply, divide, push, they are going to push inside the stack, converting expression from infix to postfix notation. Here is a question, that is P divide bracket Q minus R bracket close multiply S plus T. This is an expression, and convert it to postfix, showing the stack contents for each of conversion. You have to show them every step. So the method that you have to follow: first, symbol, process, stack, and result. This is the method that you are going to follow when you solve these questions in your notebook. Symbol, line, process, then line, stack, line, result. We start with the first sign, that is P. What has been written there in the steps? That all the operands are going to be printed. So the process is going to be print. So it will directly print it. This is the result output. You are going to put P here. Now what is the next sign? The stack at the present is going to be empty. So I am write it down empty. There is no need to write down that. You put the dash also. Divide sign. Now all the operators are going to be divide, push, and the stack is going to be now have one value, that is division. Now P remain as it is, result is same. You write it down or you can leave it. Next, bracket is also going to be push. So first divide, put the comma and put the bracket. You know this is a stack. So this is the first value, this is the second value. If you turn that, division sign is at the bottom and bracket sign is at the top. We are following the concept of LIFO. Now P is going to be as it is. Now next is going to be Q. This is an operand print. Now PQ printed and the stack remains same. Divide, comma, bracket. What is the next sign? The minus. Now it is an operator push. Now how many values are there. First divide, second is bracket, third is minus sign. Now the result remain PQ. Now what is the next one? R. R is again an operand. Print. PQR has been printed. Now move to the next line. It's a bracket. You have to write down pop and print. Whatever is going to be inside those brackets are going to be popped and it is moved to the result part where the PQR is written. So what is the value that is going to be popped? Where is the open bracket and closing? This bracket is being starting from here and the closing bracket is this. So the values inside these brackets are going to be removed and they have been printed. So PQR, that minus is now be the part of the result. Now it is move outs. That means in a stack it means that there is one sign is remain, that is a division sign. Now star sign means multiply, push. So now there is divide, comma, multiply. Now you know that multiply and divide in a same level. So division will popped out and it is moved out, and now PQR minus divide is going to be there. Why? Because both are in the same level. One of the symbol is popped out and star remain there. Next S, again it is printed, plus multiply then plus sign. Now what happened? Star popped out and printed. Why? Star and plus. Star is the highest priority, means multiply is the highest and plus is the lowest, and highest and after that lowest is not going to set. So highest will leave the stack and plus remain inside the stack. Means highest priority leave as at the top, the lowest priority operator is going to be added. So the plus will enter inside the stack, at the same time star will leave the stack and it has been displayed outside. Next T is printed, and last there is nothing is left, so all the things inside the stack are going to be popped out. So the plus is going to be moved out here, and this is your answer. Here is the answer: PQR minus divide S multiply T plus. Now we solve one more question. Here it is, infix to postfix notation. Question is x divide y plus u multiply bracket v minus w bracket. Bracket is been pushed inside the stack. Then x is directly going to be printed. You know that it's an operand. Next division is going to be pushed. So there is bracket and divide. X remain as it is in the result box. Next y is going to be printed. Now result is xy. Next plus, it's an operator, it is pushed. So there are bracket comma plus. Where is the division sign? It leave. Why? Because division has a highest priority and plus is the lowest, and lowest is not going to sit at the top of the highest priority. So highest priority leave the stack and plus is remain there. Here is a divide sign and it is removed and it is moved outside, and xy divide is going to be. U is directly going to be printed. Multiply. So bracket comma plus comma multiply. Multiply is going to sit there. Why? Because plus is the lowest and multiply is the highest. So multiply is at the top of the lowest priority plus. So this is correct line. So xy divide u. Again the bracket sign, push that. Now bracket plus multiply another bracket. Next one is v. Now v again is an operand. So printed xy divide u v. Now next sign is minus. Minus is being pushed. Now you will say that minus is being pushed, so multiply is going to be move out. No, there is a bracket sign, so the first inner bracket is going to be solved. So minus is a part of the inner bracket, so minus remain there only. Next one is going to be w is going to be printed xy divide u v w. Now there is a sign of close bracket, inner part. That means whatever is been there is been popped. Which part? Means this is going to link with the bracket is here. That means this bracket and this bracket has been now closed. So the sign is going to be minus sign. This sign is going to be popped out and printed. So xy divide u v w minus is going to be the result. Now what is the last one? One more sign is being left. So this bracket is being closed with the starting bracket. So all the things that is inside that, all the operators are going to be popped. So first multiply, then plus. So all the operators have been out now. So the output is going to be x y divide u v w minus multiply plus. So this is our answer. Now let us move to one more, but this time the question is going to be changed. Now we are going to have a numbers, and same process are going to be, we're going to use the same process. I'm going to show you that how it is work in the stack also. You have to show the result by using all the operators and these values, and the result is needed to be displayed. Now there is 50, 60 plus 20, 10 minus multiply. So these are the values and these are the operators. Whenever the operator is being called, in case of these type of questions, you have to pop the values. Now this is a sign of arithmetic operators, and each sign needed two operand. So when plus, minus, multiply, divide is going to be executed, you are going to pop two values. One is operand 1 and one is going to be operand 2. So we start. First 50 is going to be push inside the stack. Then here it is in a stack, 50 is been there. Next 60, again push 50, and the top is going to be 60. Now there is a first sign, that is plus. So you write down pop two values. Two values mean 50 and 60. So these values are going to be removed from the stack and move out to the result. And what is that? You will use the plus sign and add these values. 50 plus 60 is going to be 110, and again this value is going to be pushed inside the stack. This is a step. This is the step. First pop the values, add them, whatever result is there, you're going to move out. You send it back to the stack again by using the push 110. So it is again inside the stack. Now the addition is there. 50 plus 60, 110. Now next is 20, again push 110, 20. Next again 10, then 110, 20, 10. Now there are three values. Now what is the next sign? Minus. Now pop two values. You know that it's a stack. These two values are going to be popped, and 110 will remain there. And in the result part, 20 minus 10. This operator is being used. What is the value now? 10. Now what happened to this 10? Again it is going to be pushed. So there is 110, 10. Now last is going to be multiply sign. Pop the values. So it is empty now, and 110 multiplied by 10 is equals to 1100, and it is again push. So this is our answer, 110. This is the method that you are going to follow by solving these questions, in which the numbers and the arithmetic operators are being used. This is 110. Now one more is going to be there. This is another method. In this case we are using true, false, not, and, true, false, and, or. So these are the logical operators, and in the logical operators, you know what is the meaning of and what is the meaning of or. And or works in two values, not work in a single value. That means whenever there is a not is going to be called, that time we are going to pop on the single value, and when the and or is going to be called, in that case you have to go to pop two values, and these are true, false are going to be pushed inside the stack, and when these logical operators are being called, you're going to pop the values. So first is true, push true, it is going to be inside the stack. Next false, again push, then there is true, false. Next not. When not is being called, you know that not works in a single value, you pop one value. It means true, false, this false is going to be removed. It moved to the result part. There you write down false, not. Now you convert this false using not, and when you use not, this false become true, Now again this true, the result is going to be pushed back inside the stack. That means now true already there, put the comma sign and put the true again. Now move to the next. What is that? Another sign of AND is being there, AND operator. You know that AND and OR case, pop two values. These two values are going to be removed, popped out. This means the stack is now empty and these values are moved to the result part. Put the AND between true and true, means when the both the results are true, answer is going to be true and pushed back. So this is again stack, there is true is being there from these two values. Now next true, push, now true and true is going to be there. Now again true, now true, true, true. There are three true are there. Next and pop two values, these true. Remove, true and true is going to be true, push back. Now there are true and true. And what is the last one? OR. Now last is OR, pop two values. There is true, comma true. So when we use that, it is been removed from the stack and true or true is equals to true. So what has been pushed? True. So the answer is